Greetings, welcome back to Acadian Comics. I'm your host, James Fondren, and as I alluded to in the last Comics Hall episode, episode 30, I promised or I committed to doing a review of Absolute Batman. So we're going to get right into it because really there's two books here that matter. Just to start off, it's like, well, why Absolute Batman? What, from a story perspective, why is that the case? And really, if you're going to understand the backstory, the DC All-In Special #1 kind of explains it. It starts with Darkseid, right? And Darkseid kind of gets this thing popped off, so to speak. So there are going to be spoilers on All-In, and there are also going to be spoilers for Absolute Batman. But I just wanted to give that kind of preface that if you want to understand what's going on with the Absolute universe, if you will, you have to start in with the All-In Special. Start with the All-In Special, read from there. It's a great starting point. It's almost like a supplemental book, really, for what they're setting up. So I didn't get this last week, but I got it this week, and I got Absolute Batman issue #1. So let's get right into it. Let's start with the All-In Special first, okay? I'm going to put Absolute Batman to the side for a second. All right, All-In Special. Why is this? And we're gonna start spoilers now. So essentially, what happens is you start the comic, and Darkseid is creating this like wish machine, okay? And he knows that he can't. He wants to have this greater power to affect different universes, and in order to do that, he has to. I don't want to show every single page, but in order to do that, he has to get the power of Spectre, and eventually he does that by doing a wish machine, creating this wish machine, and it grants him the wish because Spectre has to choose its host, it has to choose who will assume the mantle of Spectre. So that's how he becomes Spectre Darkseid, and then his kind of he recreates a universe where it disadvantages your main DC heroes, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, changes things up, makes things different, and I think that'll be interesting to see the different takes on the characters and how they're changing things up. So what's interesting about all this is, so you read this book, you start, right, you're reading it, and for American comic books, you read from left to right, and then you're reading, and then all of a sudden it flips. It flips, and then boom, you're in the other comic. And so then you turn it around, and this is this other universe that Darkseid's creating, and then you start 52 days later or whatever. So this is kind of how that works. Yeah. So this is Omega, and this is Alpha, right? So this is the Alpha book part of it for the I guess the Prime universe, and then this is the Omega part where Darkseid creates the Omega universe, the Darkseid universe. Actually, I read this side first, not knowing, not looking. So what's interesting though, if we go to the Alpha side, these little cards, right? I got this at Midtown Comics. So at the beginning of this book, they now have these cards, right? And I got the Superman card, right? And they hand out these cards to all the new members of what they're dubbing the Justice League Unlimited. So here's the Justice League Unlimited, and then they're all meeting and saying, "Oh, we're gonna do wonderful things," and then Darkseid jumps in their universe and starts messing stuff up. So that's all in, right? So that's the story about how Darkseid has created. He even says here, like here we go. So Darkseid's creating this new universe, a world where heroes are born facing greater odds. Instead of being raised in paradise, they are raised in hell. All their advantages taken away. Where all their advantages are gone. See, yada, yada, yada. where they have to shine brighter and so forth and so on. So that's all in. Darkseid creates the absolute universe. It's a multiverse storyline. And some people don't like that. And I understand. I completely understand. Now let's get into Absolute Batman, okay? Being just, if the story were, if it makes sense of the story, fine, okay? But I thought it was kind of cool. I liked it. Different take on Batman, okay? Like, take away their advantages. What is Bruce Wayne's main advantage? What's his resources? His resources are a huge advantage because he's wealthy and he can, get his tech and everything, and have all the technology to support his skill, his abilities as a detective, and all of that. So I think what's interesting about it and what the takeaway for me is, and I mean the art's good, is that even in this alternate universe, the core idea of who the character is, I think, is the same. They didn't they did not really, I mean, it's the first issue, so we'll have to see how it goes, but the core fiber of the being of who Batman is it's in there. He has non-lethal methods. He does, he analyzes the tactics of his enemy. He knows his environment. He is a detective still, just in a different capacity. Instead of being a billionaire, he is a city engineer. So he learns about the city of Gotham through being an engineer. And then people were wondering about this, what the Bat logo, it's gone, but it's like now it's an axe. you're fighting in this darker universe, so you got to have a battle axe, right? So that was interesting. And here's the axe hilt, and then he clips it onto his chest, and it's like, all right, here we go. Pretty awesome stuff, right? So I it's a good, strong first issue. I don't want to show every page, so I'm gonna flip around a little bit. But you see, he's a city engineer, and Alfred is like, he's an intelligence agent, and he's watching Bruce, but Bruce is aware, He's like, you studied applied mechanics, chemistry, criminal psychology, military theory, socio-cultural history, everything to prepare, and then come home. So Batman is still Batman. It's just they've turned that on his head. Now, here's what's interesting, and what this will entail, and what's coming in this, but and this is a great 2-page spread at the end of the book here. But again, this is spoiler filled, but the Joker is at the end of the issue, right? And he's a billionaire. He has unlimited financial resources. So interesting how they flip that. How much are they going to talk about that? If they mention the Joker's wealth and the idea of him just being a billionaire is a bad thing, I'm out. I'm completely out. The Joker is bad because of who he is through his actions and the character of who he is. He is an evil character, right? He's sinister, he's evil, he's diabolical, he's the Joker. So if they do something, if something is inserted into this, they race swap Barbara Gordon, big deal. I can get past that. That's yesterday's news. That's old news, right? We've been there, done that. But if they do something about this dynamic, rich versus poor, the Joker being a billionaire, just on the by rote that he is a billionaire or he has billions, that makes him an evil person, I'm out completely. So I'm waiting to see if the other shoe drops. If the other shoe drops, then I'm out. But if they don't go there, great. I kind of have to think about if I'm going to do the full 5 issues. So let's see. It is part 1 of 5. So there are going to be 5 issues of Absolute Batman just for this part. They're gonna keep doing it because it's selling out, right? They're going second, third printings at this point. It's only Saturday. The book came out this past Wednesday. So yeah, I mean, it depends what they're gonna sell. They're gonna insert into this, but if they don't do that and they keep to a good story, and that isn't the emphasis, and that's just happenstance because that's what Darkseid did, and It's like, let me strip away all your stuff, all of some of your stuff, your advantages, and let's see if you can still beat me. Let's see if you can still win. I like that idea. I like that idea. It's it's a new coat of paint. It's something different. Maybe get people engaged. DC has an opportunity to get some readers back, perhaps. That's my thoughts. So what do you think about Absolute Batman? What do you think about All In? Let me know in the comments. So that is my review of Absolute Batman. In short, I liked it. I'll probably pick up Absolute Superman. Don't know if I'll pick up Absolute Wonder Woman, though. Not that invested in Wonder Woman. Not even invested in Superman that much. But I'm curious to see what they do in the first issue, just to lay the groundwork. So what they did here, not bad. They did some creative things with Batman, with what his weapon system is and all of that. And, you may have seen me flip through some of that. I won't get into that anymore. You can kind of check that out on your own. But obviously the whole axe thing with his chest, that's a big one. But that's all I've got. I mean, if I had to get, it's definitely, for me, it's probably an 8 out of 10. Easily. And I'm probably, it could be more, it could be, if they round this off and polish it off and it has a good, beginning, middle, end, then it could get a higher rating from me. But right now it's like at an 8 out of 10. It's fun to see something different. I hope it continues. I hope it continues to be good. And that's it. Those are my thoughts on Absolute Batman. That's my review. It's an 8 out of 10 Batman chest emblem axes. How about that? 8 out of 10 of these right here. So that's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you right here next time at Acadian Comics.